Welcome to the Chic Show. Today I have 5 easy decoupage ideas for you. Project number 1 is using a thrifted wood hanger. I'm going to be using this Dollar Tree napkin to decoupage onto the front of the hanger, but first I'm going to give the entire hanger a coat of Waverly chalk paint in ballet slipper. Now this napkin only has the printed part on half of the napkin, so I'm going to be using 2 napkins, and I'm going to pull apart the plies and we'll only use the one printed ply. I'm just trying to line up both pieces of napkin so that they look more like one piece. Once I've decided where I want to put them, I'm going to add Mod Podge to half of the hanger and place one side down, and then I'll repeat for the other side. Now I'm going to add Mod Podge to the top, and then I will let it completely dry. Once it's dry, I'm going to come back with my finger sander and I'm going to sand off the excess tissue paper, and this will also kind of scuff up the edges of the hanger to make it a little bit more rustic. I also sanded along the back side of the hanger as well. I thought about leaving the bar there that natural color, but in the end I did end up going back and painting it pink as well. I'm going to seal everything up using DIY's Big Top. Now you could certainly use this hanger to hang your favorite outfit every day, or you could use it as I'm going to use it here. I spray painted a binder clip, and I'm going to accent it with a little bit of rub and buff, and then I'm going to add that to the crossbar, tie a little bit of lace around the top, and then hang a picture from it. This is a great project for the shabby chic lover. This decoupage project, I'm going to be using one of these marble printed napkins from Dollar General, and also this little trinket dish from Dollar Tree. Now this napkin only has the print on one part of the quadrant, but that's okay. That's plenty for this one and plenty of other napkins left over for other projects. I'm going to cut out one quadrant of the napkin and then trim it so that it will fit right on to the top of the dish. And I did go ahead and remove one of those plies to the napkin as well. Now I'll go ahead and apply the Mod Podge to the dish and then place my napkin down on top. Unfortunately, the iron-on method will not work for this piece because the piece is not flat. That marble design, I don't think any wrinkles are going to show that much anyway. I did apply another coat of Mod Podge to the top as well. For this decoupage method, we're going to jazz up a hand soap bottle. This is a napkin that I found at Tuesday morning when they were open. I'm going to go ahead and remove one of the plies. I usually do that just by tearing the edge of the napkin and then pulling it apart. This is a hand soap that I picked up at Dollar Tree, so I'm just going to remove that label and I'm going to cut a label out of the napkin to fit right on the front of that bottle. I cut out a section of the flowers that I wanted to show, and then I went back and fussy cut around some of the flowers before I applied it. Now I'm using Mod Podge in the dishwasher safe. I figured this will certainly be waterproof. It does say to let it dry between coats for 2 hours, and you're supposed to apply 3 coats. So I'm going to apply the Mod Podge to the bottle and then apply the napkin. And I am applying this in sections. This is a great way to customize a hand soap to match your decor exactly and save a little money along the way. Definitely let me know what you think about this one in the comments below. $23 Dollar Tree calendar. I'm also using a cork, a tin can, and a piece of wire. I chose this page out of the calendar and I'm trying to measure here so that I can get it to go around the can, and I'm just trying to decide exactly where to cut. So once I have those measurements, I go ahead and cut my calendar page. Before I attach the calendar page to the can, I do want to put some holes using a nail and hammer on either side of the can. Now I'm going to use some Mod Podge and I'm going to apply that calendar page by sections so I can be sure and get it straight. Now that I have the calendar page attached to the tin can, I'm going to go in with this Dollar Tree tool and poke through the paper where I made the holes. I'm also cutting down the wire so that I can make a handle. I used my drill to drill through the cork so that I could put the wire through the middle of the cork, and now I'm going to feed the wire through the holes in the can. To bring up a piece of that wire on each side to twist around the handle to attach it to the can. We have this cute little can with a nice little cork handle. Now, since it says freshly picked on the calendar page, I'm adding some of these Target Dollar Spot tulips to the can. This is an adorable little arrangement, but I didn't like how you could tell this was a tin can, so I'm taking one of these furniture markers from Dollar Tree and I'm going to color around the top and the bottom rim of the can. I have an incredible amount of Dollar Tree calendars and the pages are beautiful, but I never really know what to do with them. So I decided today that I will go ahead and craft my stash of Dollar Tree calendars. If you like what you've seen, be sure and give me a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Now on to the last DIY. This project uses the 2024 Secret Garden calendar. And I'm going to be using The one that says, "Bloom where you are planted." My mother always said this to me, so it's very special. I'm also using one of these mason jar signs from Dollar Tree from last summer. So I'm just using this calendar page and I'm trying to see exactly where I want it so that I can center it, and I'm just pressing around the edges of the sign with my fingers. I am placing this on the back side of the sign, so I do want to cover the front side. So I'm using some craft paper and I'm just tracing around that and cut it out and glue it to the front of the sign. I'm just using a glue stick for this part of the project. I do want to create kind of a metal looking top for this jar, so I'm tracing around the top on some craft paper, and I'm going to fold that in half and then glue it together to make more of a stiff material. Now I'm going to cover the top with a piece of foil, and I am using the dull side of the foil, and I'm crinkling it up just a little bit so it'll look more aged and worn. I decided it was still a little too shiny, so I used some black chalk paint and dabbed it all over. Then I went back with some antique wax and dabbed it all over. And then finally, I softened it up a little with a little bit of Waverly chalk paint and silver lining. While that dries, I'm going to go ahead and add my Mod Podge to the bottom part of the mason jar, and I'm going to cover that entire part and then let it dry. Once it's dry, I'm going to lay my calendar page on top, right where I have those markings on the side. And to attach the page, I will use my mini iron and a Teflon sheet. The heat will reactivate that Mod Podge and my calendar page will smooth on there without any wrinkles. Now I'm going to go back with my scissors and remove most of the excess paper, but then I will follow up with my finger sander to have a nice clean finished line. Now it's time to hot glue the top to the jar. Finish this piece out, I did add some florals from Dollar Tree, and I tried to match what was in the calendar page, so I'm just using hot glue to attach all of those to the back of the sign. I did have to kind of hold each one of the flower stems until the glue set up, but I also secured it again with a piece of duct tape across the back. It's not pretty, but it's functional. I'm going to attach a hanger to the back that I removed from something else. It's just jute twine, and I just hot glued it onto the back. Just to add one more little bit of embellishment, I used some of this frayed edge silk ribbon from Amazon. Bloom where you are planted. Great advice from my mother to me and from me to you. Remember to be sure and hit that thumbs up if you've seen anything you like today, and I invite you to subscribe to my channel at any time. It's totally free. If you hit that notification bell, YouTube is from Dollar Tree, and also one of the Farm Life calendars from Dollar Tree. I'm using this bunny page right here that has all the flowers on it, and I'm going to be coating the bunny with Mod Podge and then placing the calendar page on top. I I am going to give the Mod Podge time to dry, and then I'm going to use the iron-on method. I'm making sure that I can see the flowers on the ears and at the bottom of the bunny. Then I'm placing a Teflon sheet on top, and I'm just going to use my little iron and iron it to reactivate that glue. Now I'm going to go back with my scissors and cut off as much of the excess as I can. Now I'm going to do my best with my little finger sander and sand off the rest of the excess paper because it gives it a nice clean line. I did have to use my detail scissors in a couple of little places. Next, I'm using one of Dollar Tree's wire wreaths, and I'm using a garland that I got from Hobby Lobby. I'm using some of this green twine to tie the garland onto the wreath form so that if I ever want to take it off, I can still do that and have a garland. I'm also using the same twine for the bunny. I'm going to tie a knot on the front of each ear, and that way I can just tie it to the wreath and I can change it out for the seasons. Once I get the twine through there, I will just turn it over and tie it in the back. For some extra embellishment, I chose to add some flowers to the top that match the flowers in the calendar page. Hope you've enjoyed these easy decoupage ideas and see that you can decoupage on almost anything. So if you liked any of these, please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell. Thanks so much for watching. Share the chic. Bye now.